So Diddy bought his son a Bentley. Maybe, you know, he could buy you one also.
He got me a Lamborghini. It's,
Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last
He
time.
had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than me talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
It began like any other episode, but it didn't unfold like one. Joe Rogan, a man known for staying calm under pressure, sat behind his microphone visibly shaken. Not by politics, not by conflict, but by a single 1-minute clip. Just 60 seconds was enough to expose something deeper, something long buried beneath the surface of an industry that had hidden its darkest realities in plain sight. At the center of it all stood Justin Bieber, a young artist placed in close proximity to one of the most powerful and controversial figures in entertainment.
Many horrific accusations though involving young singers, like children.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's insane.
He makes R. Kelly look like a decent guy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
It is crazy. And meanwhile, the guy was like hanging out with Oprah, hanging out with Obama.
Jay-Z,
Everybody.
I'm sure the Clintons were there at some point.
Maybe Bill.
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher. I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me.
So let that sink in. The biggest pop star on the planet, a 15-year-old boy from a small Canadian town, was suddenly placed into the orbit of Sean Combs, widely known as Diddy. They called it mentorship. They presented it as opportunity. They sold it as a once-in-a-lifetime dream. But looking back now, a far more uncomfortable question emerges. Was it ever truly any of those things?
And good luck when you're older. You know, Justin Bieber had a post on his Instagram talking about all the drugs he did when he was younger and how much he fucked him up. And now he's got a relationship with the Lord, and he's married, and he's trying to be a normal person. Yeah, he's struggling with the fact that he was insanely famous when he was a kid.
Months ago, I was really struggling mentally and emotionally. Just so many things that were adding up, and I wasn't able to enjoy anything that I owned.
That's not gonna matter.
None of the actual things did anything because I was so hurt, and I was so confused, and I was so sick, and there was all these things, and it's like I can't, you know, there's like you just like you said, you can't enjoy the actual physical, tangible like things that money off.
Justin Bieber didn't just stumble into fame. His rise was carefully shaped. Discovered by Scooter Braun, he was quickly introduced to major industry figures like Usher and later Diddy. What looked like a steady climb forward may actually have been a tightly controlled path. With each step, the circle around him grew more powerful and more controlling. And one question remained: who was really in control?
Because I think if a victim comes out against Usher, it'll show how egregious this shit is. Because if he can be a predator, then anybody can be a predator.
Can't smile in your face the whole time.
You feel what I'm saying? Like people look at Usher, they don't see that. They're not seeing the victim. They're not seeing that boy that got rushed to the hospital. They're not seeing what the intention was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
Oh.
Let's be honest. He took Justin Bieber there. Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute. And his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the devil for 48 hours. Think about that.
What's going on with you guys? Are you working together?
I think that we've become friends in a strange way. You know? Yeah.
I'm big in it.
I mean, to a lot of us, he's like a little brother. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to call and ask for advice. He's somebody that in the industry-wise, the record industry is a strong family. And he's somebody that, you know, we definitely have our arms around. We want to protect him because he's such genuinely a nice person besides his talent. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the greatest kids that you can.
Then an old clip resurfaced, once buried, now impossible to ignore. On camera, Diddy appeared relaxed, smiling, even bragging. He claimed he had been given custody of a 15-year-old boy for 48 hours. Not mentorship, not collaboration. Custody. He even compared it to a similar situation involving Usher when he was a teenager. Joe Rogan fell silent.
What's up, man? Good? Good? Selling out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my business partners and whatnot. But you never really got my number. So
Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
My number. It's 555.
Yes. Okay.
555.
Okay. 555. You already heard that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You then was on path of self-destruction.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I would for sure. 100%. Yeah. It would have been no. It was bad. I don't know if I'd be alive for sure. It was dark. So I'm very, very grateful to have influences in my life that have played a huge part in me, seeing their relationship with Jesus, and their relationship with wives, and their relationship with kids, and saying that's what I want. But I want to tell my story so that if that resonates to anybody, that they can hopefully. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters and
Documents began to surface, flight logs, hotel records, and paper trails tied to hidden companies. Then came something even more personal. A handwritten note from a 15-year-old boy. He wanted to go home. The schedule felt overwhelming. He missed his mother. Joe couldn't finish reading it. His voice broke. Because in that moment, it wasn't just a note. It was a kid asking for help.
He did an interview back in 2020 with Zane Lowe. I think this was on Apple Music. And he was speaking about another young artist that was coming up, Billie Eilish and Eilish. And he was basically speaking about how he wanted to protect her because she was now another young person, a rising artist in the industry. And sort of out of nowhere, he became quite overcome with
This is about Justin Bieber. People hear about him going insane. Like, of course he's going insane. You have no idea what it would be like to be him and to be 7 years old. And girls literally try to break into his house. They're coming down chimneys. They're flying in on parachutes. Doing anything they can. They just want to be around him.
Flown out to Atlanta by a manager. His name is Scooter Braun. Flown out to Atlanta just to meet with him and meet different producers and different people. I was actually going to meet Jermaine Dupri at his studio. And who rolls up? Usher. And his Range Rover. Yeah, rolls up. And I was like, is that who I think it is? And Scooter was like, yeah. And so I ran up to him. I was like, Usher. I love your song. Do you want me to sing you one? And he was like, let's just go inside, buddy. It's cold out. So the politest possible way you can say no, he did. And I was like, wow, he just turned me down. And I was little disappointed. He had to go to a studio session, so I was like, whatever. And a week later, he actually watched my videos with my manager and was like, oh my gosh, watch what I end up saying. So flew me back to Atlanta where I got to meet him again. And he wanted to sign me. But there was something else.
Justin Timberlake.
Yes, Justin Timberlake. Also wanted to sign me. It was like kind of like what happened was Justin Timberlake and Usher both went ring and boxed it out. And the outcome was Usher. I think it was a TKO.
And then you have him come to audition for you, right?
Actually, a few people. My wife at the time.
Right.
But also was Perry Reed, L.A. Reed's first wife.
So you all sitting in a room. Yeah.
And I showed her the video. And Perry says, are you crazy? You better get down there and meet this kid right now. He's amazing.
When all these pics come out and all this stuff, Bieber's big penis. Are you the mastermind behind that? Listen, show off your big penis. Or are you sitting there? Usher, you sitting down and say, yeah, show you, or leave it in your pants? Are you sitting down and say, look, part of this is PR?
By the way, he does have a brain of his own.
Yeah. But were you shocked at the speech?
Hey, listen, he has a mind of his own. What he chose to do with his penis is his prerogative. He's made that aspect of his life. But Usher has nothing to do with Justin Bieber's private part.
Then came the footage. Late at night, inside a private estate, Justin Bieber was seen walking alone, head down, holding a guitar. 2 handlers moved beside him, not like mentors, but like escorts. Inside the room, a whiteboard revealed strict instructions. No phone, limited sleep, no outside contact. This wasn't mentorship. This is how you wear someone down, Joe Rogan said quietly.
Seeing these videos of Justin Bieber being handed over to him at age 15, great job. Great job. And for his weekend with Diddy camp. I mean, we don't know, but it certainly looks like Justin Bieber is still suffering the fallout from whatever happened to him as he was coming up the ranks of the music world. It really doesn't seem worth it. I mean, I'd love to hear more from his camp about what's real, because it's clear he's suffering. We just don't know from what. And what mother out there would give her 15-year-old boy over to a grown man who's in the rap industry for a weekend with Diddy camp without other adult super.
Also just show you this montage. This is a montage that was shared by Edie Magazine. They do great work on their TikTok of Justin Bieber, again, just 15 years old, in Hollywood, surrounded by a bunch of adults. And you let me know if any of this registers to you as normal. Take a listen.
Wow! I feel violated right now. Wow.
Lean into me again. You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I'll be 17 in like 2 weeks.
I don't ever remember smelling that good at 16. Like that was bad.
Yeah.
Wow, look at your eyes. Look at what a beautiful face. All right, now it's...
Years later, Justin spoke, indirectly, talking about being pushed too far, doing things he didn't want to do. Fame had taken a toll. He found support. He found faith. He started rebuilding. But rebuilding only happens when something has first been broken.
Horrific accusations involving young singers, young children.
Yeah, it's disgusting. He makes R. Kelly look like a decent guy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
It is crazy. And meanwhile, the guy was like hanging out with Oprah, hanging out with Obama, everybody.
I'm sure the Clintons were there at some point.
Maybe Bill.
So check this out, yo. Justin, he's in, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having a time of their lives, like, you know, where we hanging out, what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher. I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I don't really have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me.
After the episode aired, the silence didn't last. Industry insiders began speaking out. Stories of isolation, control, long nights without contact. The same pattern repeated. Joe kept asking one question: how did this go on for so long?
Good luck when you're older. You know, Justin Bieber had a post on his Instagram talking about all the drugs he did when he was younger and how much he fucked him up. And now he's got a relationship with the Lord, and he's married, and he's trying to be a normal person. Yeah, he's struggling with the fact that he was insanely famous when he was a kid.
Months ago, I was really struggling mentally and emotionally. Just there was so many things that were adding up, and I wasn't able to enjoy anything that I owned.
That's not gonna matter.
None of the actual things did anything because I was so hurt, and I was so confused, and I was so sick, and there was all these things, and it's like I can't, there's like you just like you said, can't enjoy the actual physical, tangible like things that money offers.
More voices came forward. More documents surfaced. and the truth became harder to ignore. This wasn't just one story. It pointed to a system built on power, protected by money, and sustained by silence. Justin Bieber is no longer that 15-year-old boy. He's rebuilding his life. But the message remains clear. What happened should never happen again.
He did an interview back in 2020 with Zane Lowe. I think this was on Apple Music. And he was speaking about another young artist that was coming up, Billie Eilish. And Eilish. And he was basically speaking about how he wanted to protect her because she was now another young person and rising artist in the industry. And sort of out of nowhere, he became quite overcome with
this about Justin Bieber. People hear about him going insane. Of course he's going insane. You have no idea what it would be like to be him to be 17 years old. And girls literally trying to break into his house. They're coming down chimneys. They're flying in on parachutes. Doing anything they can. They just want to be around him. You want him to be normal?
Flown out to Atlanta by a manager. His name is Scooter Braun. Flown out to Atlanta just to meet with him and meet different producers and different people. I was actually going to meet Jermaine Dupri at his studio. And who rolls up? Usher. And his Range Rover. Yeah, rolls up, and I was like, is that who I think it is? And Scooter was like, yeah. And so I ran up to him. I was like, Usher. I love your song. You want me to sing you one? And he was like, let's just go inside, buddy. It's cold out. So the politest possible way you could say no, he did. And I was like, wow, he just turned me down. And I was little disappointed. He had to go to a studio session, so I was like, whatever. And a week later, he actually watched my videos with my manager and was like, oh my gosh, watch what I was saying. So flew me back to Atlanta where I got to meet him again. And he wanted to sign me. But there was something else.
Justin Timberlake, right?
Yes, Justin Timberlake also wanted to sign me. It was kind of like what happened was Justin Timberlake and Usher both went into a ring and boxed it out. And the outcome was Usher. I think it was a TKO.
And then you come to audition, right?
Actually, a few people. My wife at the time.
Right.
It also was Perry Reed, L.A. Reed's first wife.
So you were sitting in a room.
Yeah. And I showed her the video. And Perry says, are you crazy? You better get down there and meet this kid right now. He's amazing.
When all these pics come out and all this stuff, Bieber's big penis, are you the mastermind behind that? Listen, show off your big penis. Or are you sitting there? Usher, are you sitting down and saying, yeah, show you, or leave it in your pants? Are you sitting down and say, look, part of this is PR.
By the way, he does have a brain of his own.
Yeah, but were you shocked at the size of his penis?
Hey, listen, he has a mind of his own. What he chose to do with his penis is his prerogative. He's managing that aspect of his life.
But Usher,
nothing to do with Justin Bieber's private